Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. And I do want to say this. I want to wish everyone right now a very Merry Christmas. It's been an unbelievable year here at the Raiders Report. I got everything I wanted. I got an amazing fan base. Got a team that's still in the playoff hunt. And we hit 100,000 subscribers. So all I want you guys to do, throw down in the comments section, Merry Christmas to my second family out there. All right, guys, we got Bling Super Chat time. Mitch, not sure why people say we beat a team without 8 starters. We're missing Waller, Perryman, Ingold, Mullen, Hobbs, Drake, and Ruggs. You're right. The Raiders, they are also missing a lot of players, and I don't want to take that away. But you also have to say that, yes, we beat a team without a lot of starters. And sure, and I get it. We are missing a lot of guys as well, and I don't want to take that away from what the Raiders have done this season. And it's also one of the reasons why it's kind of frustrating, because I wanted to see what Carr could do with a fully healthy team, with a team that has all their weapons. Unfortunately, it's just not the case. Let's go to Jonathan M. Carr's clown hair is cursed. He probably can't hear. Shake my head. I think Carr can hear, because I tweeted out, all right, I'm done with Carr, and then he led a touchdown drive. Do I think DC should get a haircut? Yes, I do. But, if he wants to let, the long hair grow, long hair, don't care, I'm okay with it. Let's go to Christian. Tyler Huntley or as a backup. Guys, I get it. Huntley was very impressive this past week for the Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. And I really think that with Tyler Huntley, Baltimore looked better than an unhealthy Lamar Jackson. I would continue to roll with Huntley if I was the Ravens until Lamar is healthy. But at the end of the day, I think Huntley's going to fall into that category that I always say with Mariota. Once teams get more playing tape on him, once teams find out more of his tendencies and his weaknesses, he's not going to be good enough to make those adjustments. So for that reason, I will go ahead and say no to Tyler Huntley, but I'm very happy for him, the fact that he had the game that he did. Let's go to Poophead. Carr was traded. Now it's draft time. All the quarterbacks are on the board, and it's the Raiders' pick. Who would you take? So you're saying in a scenario where the Raiders traded Carr, it's draft time, every single quarterback's on the board, and it's our pick. Well, I'll base this off of the Raiders having the number 16 overall pick, where if the draft were to start today, that's where they would be at. I'm probably going to go with Matt Corral. He's my favorite quarterback out of all these year's prospects. Now, personally, I think Kenny Pickett's the most ready to start day 1 QB in this year's draft. But if I'm going to go with the guy who I think has the highest upside, I'm going to go with Corral, which you guys can see in my Derek Carr replacements videos that I put out basically 2 weeks ago. If you missed that video, hey, go ahead, check it out. We got a whole bunch of content here on the Raiders Report. Free videos all year long around the draft, around free agency. Even when nobody else is talking about the team in May, June, July, you're going to have a video every single day here on this channel. So if you bleed silver and black, please go ahead and subscribe and check out all of my Raiders content, because if you love the draft, there's going to be a lot of it coming up here. All right, we got Hollywood Silva. Our D last again. O-line can't run block, and if Carr can't throw for 300, we lose. You're right, Mitch. He isn't the solution. No one would be under those circumstances. I don't totally disagree with what you're saying. Now, the Raiders were finally able to win a game this past week for the first time this season when Carr threw for under 300. Also, the Raiders have only won 2 games when scoring 16 points, I believe, in like 10 years. Both came against the Cleveland Browns in back-to-back seasons. But you're right, the offensive line has been bad. They've lost a lot of pieces, no doubt about it. But when you have the amount of pieces that the Raiders need to be able to pace together, I want to have as much money as humanly possible to be able to build the offensive line, to be able to build the defense, to be able to put a very solid team together. And the way that you can build the most complete team is by drafting a quarterback and having a young rookie quarterback, or having a young quarterback on one of those younger deals, not having the new contract that you're going to have to give Derek Carr. All right, let's go to Jose Delgado. Mitch, I love your prediction, and the Raiders are first team to win a Super Bowl coming from a wild card. Raiders Nation, don't lose faith. As much as I want to be able to sit here and say that the Raiders can win a Super Bowl, they just don't have the roster right now. And now, sure, maybe if they can get back some of these pieces that aren't healthy right now, you have a better shot of doing it. I just don't see that realistically happening. And if it doesn't happen, so be it. I just don't want a team that gives up. At the end of the day, I do not want to root for a team that gives up, because you guys are making millions and millions of dollars when you don't have, we'll say some of these other struggles that people like myself, a lot of people watching, they're not making millions, so it's a little bit different. I want guys to go out there and play every single day. So we do have a big game coming up here, Week 16, up against the AFC West rival Denver Broncos. Both teams at 7-7. The Raiders are going to be going up against Drew Lock. Let me know who you guys got down in the comments section. Type LV for the Raiders or DEN for the Denver Broncos. Super chat, Hope Davis keeps Carr, plugs the real holes we get. SB, I get to rub your faces. So, again, Mark Davis basically came out and said that he's going to be the one that makes the decision on the quarterback. When I saw that quote from Davis, that to me says everything I need to see, that he's already made his mind up on Derek Carr, that Carr is not going to be the quarterback next season, and it depends on who the new head coach is going to be. I personally think it's stupid that Davis isn't giving the new head coach the decision to say, okay, either he wants Carr or not. When I saw Davis saying that, though, that to me said, like, okay, Derek Carr is going to be out the door. Let's go to Arlen Howard. Merry Xmas. Appreciate everyone watching always. This video is going to be going out on Christmas, so if you guys want to throw Merry Xmas down there, if you guys want to let me know what you got, if anybody wants to talk to me on Christmas, please don't be afraid to hit me up on IG. One of the coolest things I've ever seen was a few years ago, I guess not a few years ago, in 2020, I had a dad reach out to me and said, hey, man, I lost my job in 2020. I don't have a lot of money for Christmas, and my son actually asked to talk to you. So what I did was I FaceTimed with his son on Christmas. So if anybody thinks that that is actually a cool gift, I am more than happy to go ahead and do that. So if anybody wants to hit me up on Instagram and say, hey, could you possibly talk to my husband? Could you talk to my wife? Could you talk to my son? Could you talk to my daughter for Christmas? It's what they want. I am more than happy to do it, but you got to give me a heads up. Hit me up on IG at Mitchell Renz 365, and I'll start scheduling out some times. Let's go to Big Daddy Raider. Waller, Perryman are needed the last 3 weeks. You ain't lying. Especially Perryman, because Perriman's definitely going to be needed in the run game. He's not a good in coverage, which he's not, but he is our best run defender at the linebacker position. Having Perryman out there is going to be crucial going up against the Broncos, who are going to want to run the football. It's really crucial also up against the Indianapolis Colts, who run the football more than any team right now with Jonathan Taylor. And then when you talk about Waller, yeah, you're damn right that he's also really important, because you need to have your number one guy out there. I get Hunter Renfro's the guy that has the most targets, most receptions, but let's be real with ourselves. Darren Waller is the best receiving option that this team has, and if you want to take some stress off of Hunter, because they started to double cover him and he wasn't nearly as open, I have faith in Foss Moreau, but that dude's got bricks for hands at times. We need both of these guys to make a playoff run. Let's go to Ty Davis. Props to the D that slowed down Chubbs, and props to Abrams because he stopped him a few times. Do we keep Abrams? So Jonathan Abrams, yes, the Raiders are going to keep him one more year. However, I personally would not extend him past his contract, in terms of would I give him a fifth year? No. I like Abrams. He's a good player. Maybe if they convert him to a linebacker, the issue is I really like what I've seen so far out of Divine Diablo. I think he's the real deal at linebacker, and for Abrams, it's just he's such a liability in coverage. It's a no, but I am hoping he's healthy week 16, week 17, because, again, you need him to be able to make a little bit of a deep playoff run. All right, y'all, so one of the deals we got going on today is with our awesome sponsor. So if you guys want to get some awesome Raiders gear on sale, we got stuff up to 50% off. So go to chatsports.com/Raiders sale. T-shirts, hoodies, all of this stuff is available. Heck, that T-shirt that you see over there, it's only $14.99. There's actually a hat on sale for $7. Now, the hat that you're about to see is $29. So whether you need a gift after the holidays, or maybe you're just like, you know what, I want to get myself something special, go to chatsports.com/Raiders sale. You can get 2 polos for, I believe, like $32. Usually 2 polos is like $65. But with the deal that we got going on right now, chatsports.com/Raiders sale. Let's go to this one from Philip Rodriguez. We signed Desean Jackson for a deep threat. Throw him the deep ball, not to Zay. That I agree with. Right now, Derek Carr has 4 interceptions this season. When targeting Zay Jones, it's by far the most. And I think one of my biggest issues that I have with Carr and with the Raiders is they fall in love with players as, like, friends, right? Where if I'm an NFL team, I'm going to put the best talent out there on the field. I'm not going to target a guy just because he practices harder, because he works his tail off. That's one of the issues that I have with this organization. They far too often, they favor players because they're good guys. Not that I don't like that, but that's not how it always should work on the field. I do think they should target Desean Jackson more, though. Jackson also had one of the worst drops this past week. He needs to be better himself, and he needs to start showing up a little bit more when it matters the most. But I do agree, Zay gets way too much playing time. Let's go to Heather Spooner. Rate my general manager skills. Head coach Todd Bowles. Sign Davante Adams. Trade Deshaun Watson. Draft Nakobe Dean. I like Todd Bowles, but the only issue is this. I wouldn't go with the defensive-minded guy. Then you're going to go out and get Davante Adams. You're going to trade for Deshaun Watson. I'm okay with that. Nakobe Dean, it's just how much are you going to give up? What did you get for Derek Carr? And if I'm going to go with the defensive coordinator, I don't know then if I'm going to make all these other big-time splashes on the offensive side of the football. But Heather, I guess I'll give you a B grade because you are getting some good players there. Let's go to Fanny Pack. Face on is trash. Mullen can't stay healthy, and Hayward is a free agent. What should the Raiders do at cornerback in free agency? Well, this kind of goes back to Heather. So, Heather, what would you do at defensive coordinator? Because if you decide to keep Gus Bradley, then you should absolutely decide to bring back Casey Hayward. Personally, I think no matter what you try to do, you try to bring back Casey Hayward, but it definitely depends because Hayward is definitely fit more for a coverage or in zone coverage. If you decide to go out and get somebody like Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, those guys are more built for man coverage. I'm saying you bring back, obviously, Trayvon Mullen. He's going to be healthy, hopefully, right? You decide to bring back Casey Hayward. Face on has definitely been getting picked on a little bit, but I'm saying bring back Hayward, Trayvon Mullen, and then see what you got going forward. Now, this is a big-time week, no doubt about it, for this Las Vegas Raiders team. I want you to go ahead and predict the score. Raiders up against the Denver Broncos. I haven't checked the over-under yet because I actually don't think there's any odds out due to the fact that Drew Lock's the starting quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, because when I looked this morning on Tuesday, the odds were not out yet. Now, maybe this will change as the week goes on and as certain things pop up. But go ahead, let me know your score predictions. Raiders up against the Broncos. All right, this is going to be the last question on today's mailbag unless we get more super chats, which I do not see. Let's put it this way. Trade Carr for some picks, cut Kwiatkowski. They are going to cut Quit. Then you have almost $80 million. Then get Adams and Rodgers. Then get an offensive tackle or offensive guard in round 1 and a speedy wide receiver in round 2. I like your idea. The Raiders will have some money. There's no doubt about it if they decide to move on from Carr, if they decide to move on from a guy like Quit. Also, you're going to have some extra money because of Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett conduct detrimental to the team. That's the word I'm looking for. The Raiders will have some money to play around with, no doubt about it. So, Tyler, I appreciate your question. We got one more super chat coming up here on today's show. And reminder, guys, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the Raiders Report. That's going to be the easiest way that you get featured here on future upcoming shows. So, Wild on 14, I see it. Don't worry, we'll get to it here in just a second. His question is, how about we draft Carr to try to sign, how about we keep Carr, to try to sign Davante Adams. If he signs, keep Carr. If he doesn't, we still can shop Carr before the draft. The issue is this, right? If you decide to do this, the reason why you have to trade Carr before free agency is because Carr's value is the highest before free agency. Because if you wait till free agency and you have all these other quarterback-needy teams, they sign a quarterback or they get another quarterback or they trade for Rodgers or Russell Wilson, then Carr's value goes down. If there's quarterback-needy teams out there and they have a complete roster and they think they're a quarterback away, there's going to be teams that go out there and try to get DC on $19.9 million deal. So if you're looking for the most that you possibly can get, you trade Derek Carr before free agency hits. Then you have a lot more time to plan for free agency and then the NFL draft. Let's go to Chili Man 213. Mitch, we give Mayock one more year and see if he's the draft guru people say he is, or his Gru had too much power. Merry Xmas to you and to yours. Merry Christmas to everyone's families out there. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be able to take Alex home. It's going to be Chuck's first Christmas as well. Chuck's my dog, for those of you that don't know. In terms of Mayock, yes, this is actually a point that I've made multiple times on this show where I do respect Mike Mayock's decision-making. And when you talk to a lot of people inside that organization, when you actually hear now some of the stuff Mayock said, it sounds like he did a lot of the draft stuff in the second, third, fourth, and so on. And Gruden was the guy making the decisions in round 1. At the end of the day, we were able to find Nate Hobbs. You're able to find Max Crosby. Divine Diablo starting to turn into a hell of a player. And yes, I really, truly believe that some of those later picks were more to do with Mayock, and Gruden just wasn't that dude. So if I was running the Raiders, I would give Mayock one more year, and if he's unable to get it done, then so be it. We at least tried. But with so much turnover coming up here, you're going to want to stay tuned in to the Raiders Report. So if I didn't get to your guys' questions, I'm sorry. Please hit me up on IG. Everyone have an amazing Christmas with your families. But hit me up at Mitchell Renz 365.